Oh my gosh, 2024 is going to be the best year of my life. I'm finally going to ride roller coasters on the East Coast. This includes Kentucky Kingdom, Kings Island, Cedar Point, Six Flags Over Georgia, Fun Spot Atlanta, Six Flags Over Texas, and Six Flags Fiesta Texas. I am so hyped. This is my top 25 most anticipated credits of 2024. I don't want to waste your time, let's get into it. At number 25 is Superman Ultimate Flight at Six Flags Over Georgia. If you don't know me, then Tatsu at Six Flags Magic Mountain is my second favorite roller coaster, so I just love flying coasters, and I'm really excited to see how this one is. At number 24 is all of the SNS Freesmiths that I will be riding on this trip. This includes Batman the Ride at Six Flags Fiesta Texas and Joker at Six Flags Over Texas. I personally think these rides are underrated. I rode the one at Six Flags Discovery Kingdom and I thought it was better than Railblazer, so I think this is going to be a really good ride. The only reason this ride isn't higher is because I already kind of know what to expect after riding one of the clones. Raptor at Cedar Point is taking the number 23rd spot, and this will be my first ever large-scale B&M invert. To give you context, Flight Deck at Great America, I rank 2 spots under Railblazer, and I'm definitely going to rank this above Flight Deck, so I really want to see how high I rank this ride. Superman Krypton Coaster takes the number 22nd spot, and I don't think this will be better than Raptor, but I do think it'll be a more unique ride, judging by how it uses the quarry wall. People say this is one of the best B&M floorless coasters, and I rank Medusa pretty high, so I think this will be better than Medusa. At number 21 is Banshee at Kings Island. I don't know if I like this or Raptor more when I ride it, but I do think I'll like Raptor more because it has more whip, and I definitely prefer more whip than Positive G's. But then Banshee has that insane first drop without the pre-lift, so maybe I'll like Banshee more. The reason why I ranked it above Raptor is because it looks cooler. Next up is Magnum XL 200. This ride is purely on here for the last airtime hills, but I've definitely heard some people say that the first half of the ride is underrated, so I'll be excited to ride the first half too. The only reason I'm not ranking this as high is probably because that I might not like the airtime hills judging by how polarizing they are. At the number 19 spot is Daredevil Dive. The only reason I have this ranked so far is because it looks like it has a pretty unique layout and I've never ridden a Gerstlauer before, so that's pretty cool. This is Mr. Freeze Reverse Blast at Six Flags Over Texas. What this is basically a mini Top Throw 2 with an inverted top hat and an extra overbank. It looks pretty fun, but I don't think it's going to be the best ride in the world. But I am a sucker for forwards and backwards rides, so I might rank this ride higher than most people will. Next up at the number 17 spot is Dr. Diabolical's Cliffhanger at Six Flags Fiesta Texas. I've never ridden a dive coaster, let alone a beyond vertical dive coaster, so this will be a pretty interesting experience when I ride it. Other than that, I think this will be a pretty standard B&M looper. I just ranked it higher than like the inverts just because I've never ridden a dive coaster before and it'll be a unique experience for me. Valravn at Cedar Point. Basically the same thing as Dr. Diabolical's Cliffhanger, but 50 feet taller. And now we've reached the top 15 with Gatekeeper at Cedar Point. Hey, this ride has a layout for once. Nah, I'm kidding. This ride looks to be one of the most graceful roller coasters ever, and I'm really excited. I bet those giant sprawling inversions will feel amazing, and those keyholes look like great near misses. New Texas Giant takes the number 14 spot and is the first RMC that appears on this list. This ride looks pretty good in the first half, but looks kind of lackluster in the second half. I know it's going to be a great ride, but I'm not going to try to set my expectations too high. Twisted Cyclone at Six Flags Over Georgia takes the number 13 spot. Even though this ride is shorter than New Texas Giant, I think it'll have more punchy and stronger elements. That's why I think I'll rank it higher. Hey, that's 3 RMCs in a row. This will definitely be the best ride at Six Flags Fiesta Texas. The layout doesn't look too insane, but it's kind of just like a better Superman Krypton coaster. I feel like this coaster isn't as perfect as all the other RMCs, but it does have some really good standout elements, and it was their second ever coaster. Oh yeah, and this coaster's well on its way to become a hyper. That's insane. Okay, this coaster I might not even be able to ride. It's Top Throw 2 at Cedar Point. When I go to the trip this summer, this ride might not even be open yet. This is basically the top hat of Top Throw Dragster combined with Superman Escape from Krypton at Six Flags Magic Mountain, so that'll be pretty cool. Millennium Force at Cedar Point looks kind of overrated to me. This ride literally only has like 3 types of elements: overbanks, airtime hills, and straight track. Sure, it'll have the speed and the Positive G's, and in my opinion, Positive G's without whip is not as good, but I still rank this super high because it'll be my first ever Giga Coaster that I will ever ride. Now we're into the single digits with Lightning Run at Kentucky Kingdom. This is basically an RMC on Aero Track. It looks pretty fun, but in the POVs I've seen, it does go a little slow, but I'm guessing that's just because it runs in the morning. But this just looks like a better Joker at Six Flags Discovery Kingdom with some really good airtime hills at the end. Next is Mystic Timbers at Kings Island. I've heard people say this ride is overrated, but I've also heard people say it's the best GCI in the country. But judging by the layout on some POVs, this does look like a better Ghost Striker with an out and back layout, and it's in the woods. Getting night rides on this thing will be really fun. Diamondback at Kings Island takes the number 7 spot. I've never ridden a B&M hyper coaster, and this will be my first one. But the same thing with Mystic Timbers. I see people ranking this near the bottom of the hypers list and near the top of the hypers list. So I don't know what to think about this ride for now. I guess we'll just have to see when I get to Kings Island in the summer. This has a chance to be better than Twisted Colossus. Everybody raves about Storm Chaser at Kentucky Kingdom a lot, so I'm excited to ride it when I get there. What I'm not so excited for is the barrel roll down drop. It just looks kinda eh. We are now entering the top 5 with Maverick at Cedar Point. The launch feel looks really cool, the layout looks really cool, everything about this coaster is just really cool, except for the height. And so are the shoulder straps, those are not that cool. This will probably be my first ever world-class Intamin ride that I will go on, so I'm really excited to see how it feels. Taking the number 4 spot is Orion at Kings Island. I lied when I said Millennium Force was going to be my first Giga Coaster. It's actually Orion at Kings Island. The thing I'm definitely most looking forward to is that insane 300-foot drop and the really tall elements that come after it. But when I walk up to this coaster, I'll probably be really intimidated. Goliath at Six Flags Over Georgia takes the number 3 spot. I've heard people say this is one of the best B&O hypers in America, so I am so hyped to ride this thing when I get there in the summer. I predict that this will be my favorite B&O hyper. Ever since this ride opened, I've been so hyped to get on it. This has a chance to become my most favorite roller coaster. Every single element on this ride looks so amazing. I don't even have words to describe this. Okay, I don't think I need to explain why this is my number 1 most hyped roller coaster I will be riding this summer. I mean, it's Steel Vengeance! If this ride can't top X2, which is currently my most favorite roller coaster, I don't know what can, other than Edge and Ica. You know how originally I said Air Force One could be my favorite roller coaster? Well, scratch that. This is probably just Air Force One, but 2 times longer. I mean, what can I say that hasn't already been said? Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see y'all next time.
Bruh.